Hello guys, how are you doing? So a lot of people ask me about my work and how I came to Belgium, so I decided to tell my story for you. So I'm Jessica Dias Chaveiro. I'm born in Brazil, Goiânia, Goiás, right in the middle in Brazil. When I was little, me and my brother, my parents decided to join a movement called No Land. And I will try to explain you what this means. That means a group of people who decided to invade a land that has no owner, and they stay there for a long period until the government decide to give them that land. But it's a really hard process, and it can take years. Um, so people fight to stay in that land, and they are kicked out, and then they return, and then they have to move to another place. And then there are even people who loses their lives trying to gain that land. So I remember we had to keep moving from places to places, and we lived in these plastic black houses, not houses, tents. Like you can imagine, no electricity, no proper toilets, no shower, and like nothing at all. We kept moving from a place to place when we had no home, no place to stay actually. And after so many years, the government decided to give that land to this group of people, including my parents. And that is the place where my dad still lives today. So that was when my dad could build our first rancho, that is a wooden house in Brazil. And yeah, it was amazing. We finally could stay there, and after many years, so my dad, he could build our first house, a normal house with bricks. And I remember the first time we had electricity, and my dad, he put this lamp in the living room, and it's a moment I will never forget, because it was so amazing, and I was so amazed by this lamp, and I could just press in a button, and there was light. So it was amazing for me, and I kept staring at it, and remember to find it so beautiful. And this moment stayed in my head, and it stayed forever. In this time we had no toys, and we had no normal clothing or these things. Everything we had, it was already used. When I went to the city, I could play with the toys of my cousin, and it was so amazing. She had dolls, and she had Barbies, and yeah, I remember to be so happy to be able to play with one, because I didn't have one. So these little things I really remember. And I remember my dad going to the city also and bringing us yogurt and cookies. And I remember to hide my cookies and hide my things to eat from my brother, so he couldn't find and he couldn't eat my stuff, because I wanted to keep for a long time, because we didn't have these things. But he still eats my food, and he's still eating my food until today. So it was a difficult time, but what had an impact in our lives was not the situation, the money situation, the situation we went to, but it was the family problems. We had so many family problems. I will not expose my family, but it was really disturbed childhood, I can say. We had like traumas from our childhood, because we didn't have an example of parents, happy married parents, and it was really hard to grow up with this in your head. This affected me and my brother a lot, and this caused us problems later also. So this was the most difficult part of our childhood. It was the family problems. And yeah, it's really difficult to work it out when you grow up also. You have to put all this out your mind, and you have to start over. So after so many years, my mom, she separated from my dad, and she had the opportunity to come to Belgium to work. So she came, she stayed here for 3 years, and after 3 years we could come to Belgium to study and to try to have a better life. So that's when we came, me and my brother. The first year was hell, and I cried a lot. I cried like almost every day. I didn't speak any other language than Portuguese. I didn't have any friends. I couldn't speak any language. So I was so lost here, and here was so cold, and the people are so different. I never saw someone speaking another language or another country. I never been out my country. I never saw the sea before, and it was such a huge change. It was the beginning of a new time in our life. So after 1 year, I was already used to it, and I went to school and I started to study tourism. So, because I wanted to be a flight attendant. So I studied tourism, and then I decided I didn't want to go to university, and I wanted to stop studying, and I wanted to go work, to have money. So I did this, and it was the biggest mistake of my life, because yeah, after that I had so many troubles because I stopped studying. So the family pressure in that time was really huge, because they started to say, oh, you came from nothing and today you have the opportunity, you are not taking the opportunity to study, you will be nothing in life, you are nothing, and you are not smart, you are dumb, and so many things I had to hear. And yeah, it was really painful. And I started to work in a shop, and in this shop I had also very hard time, because I was bullied the entire time. People kept saying, oh, you are too skinny, oh my god, you have anorexia, oh my god, how can you be so skinny, you are too skinny. And this started to get in my heart, and this started to affect me so much. The pressure from home, the pressure from the family and friends, and the pressure from people in my work, from colleagues, saying that I was ugly, that I was too skinny, that I had anorexia, and that I had to take care of myself. So I started the time where I had depression. So it was a really hard time also in my life, because no one could understand, and if you have been through such a situation, you can understand what I say. And I cried a lot, and I thought to take out my life, and I tried to take out my life, and it was really hard time. Only my boyfriend in that time and my mother, she could see that, and it was terrible. But I came out from this situation, and I decided to fight for myself, otherwise I was going to die, because I was feeling that I was no one. So I started to fight the situation, and yeah, after like 1 year I could go through it, and I started to do things that I liked, and I started to do modeling, and I started to do dancing. I started to dance, and I did a pageant, and I started to live. And then I paid a professional, to a personal trainer, to help me to gain some kilos, and I gained like 8 kilos in 2 months, and I was eating a lot, and it was hard to gain kilos. So I gained the kilos, and in this time then I was dancing, and it helped me a lot, and I was doing my modeling stuff, and yeah, I gained my confidence back, and yeah, it was in another level, and I turned the situation, and I was happy. But I was not happy about my work. But I left this work, and then I started to work in another place, in an office. I was also not happy there, but no one was bullying me, and yeah. So my friend, after this, my friend, she started to say, oh, I will send my CV to these companies, because they are looking for flight attendants, and why don't you send your CV to? And I was like, oh no, this dream is already past. I will not try this, because I will get disappointed again. because I didn't study university, so I'm not able to do this. They will not take me. So she said, okay, I will send your CV together with mine and then you will see. So I forget about that, and 2 weeks later they invited us to the interview, and I was like, oh my god, me? Seriously? And then I was to the interview with no expectation at all, because I didn't want to have any expectation. So I went to the interview and then I forgot about it, like, I don't think they will ever call me again. Like, and then after I think 3 weeks they sent me a message, and they said, you are selected to do our training. And I was like, oh my god. I couldn't believe that, and I couldn't believe the chance I was going to get. And I said to God, like, God, if you give me the chance, then I will do everything possible to pass this training, and I will do anything, and I will be so grateful. And that was what happened. It was so difficult. It was so difficult, the training, and there were days where I was crying because I thought I'm not making it. And but I kept studying, and I disappeared from everything, and I just study. I couldn't even swim, and I took lessons for swimming, and I thought I'm not passing these swimming tests, and I passed the swimming test, and I passed everything, and I could get my wings. And the day I had my wings, it was so important, such an important day in my life, because I was getting something. I never believed in myself, and I was getting something, and it was a proof that I had to believe in myself, and it was so important. I will never forget that day. And from that moment everything changes also for me, and I had the opportunity to see so many countries, and to see other people, to be with other people. And yeah, so I'm so thankful for that. So when I come to a hotel, I put my knees on the ground, and I thank God for the opportunity, and I thank for being there, and for to know other people, to know other culture, and to be able to be there where I never thought I was going to be before. Because there in Brazil, I never thought I was going to be someone, or that I could even go out that far and to be someone. Like, what I thought in my heart in that time, it was like, okay, someday I will maybe marry and I will have kids, and that was it. Because there was no possibility to be someone else in that stage, in that situation, because people there, they don't normally have a choice. And I had a choice, and so I'm so thankful for everything. Today I can buy so many cookies I want, and I can buy yogurt, and I can buy shoes and clothes that I want, and I'm so thankful for that. The reason I'm telling you my story today, and the message I want to give you, is that there is more. There is more for you. There is more than your eyes can see, and you are able to do that. I don't know your age, I don't know what you are going through, but you have to believe in yourself and believe that you can do it, and try, just try. If you decide to not try, you are deciding to fail. So try, please try, and believe in yourself. If I had believed in myself years ago, I was living this already years ago. But I didn't believe in myself in that time, and I had to have a friend to push me through it. And not every time in our lives we have a friend to push us. You have to fight for yourself. Go further than what you think you can. Don't limitate yourself. There is more, and there are beautiful things waiting for you. Be strong, and there is more for you. I will learn you a Portuguese word today, and the word is acredite. Believe. So believe in yourself. I hope you like this video, and please tag someone, and I see you in the next one. Kisses and bye bye. Ciao.
The seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea, into the blue. They change but in a cycle that I can't lose. Each painful but delightful to live through. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. The seasons turn and change just like your mind. Like the sun gives into the moon, into